This next video is going to be full of surprises just like this leak. Let's recap. I got this used 125-gallon aquarium and I've had it up and running for a little bit over a week. I had to do some research to figure out how to reseal this aquarium, and I take you guys along for that process. Also, we go on a little field trip where you see some alligators and some venomous snakes. Not only that, we get this 125-gallon tank back up and running and we put new monster fish in it. Stay tuned. Yo, if you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5. I've been fish keeping for about 4 years, and I've had my YouTube channel for a little bit over more than a year. And let me tell you, it's been one heck of a journey, and I've learned so much. I learn something new every day. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I'd love it if you guys came along for the journey. Subscribe to my channel so we can learn together and grow together. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5. But this L isn't technically going to be a loss for me. I'm just going to turn this into a lesson. Now I'm going to see what it's like to seal an aquarium for the first time. I've actually wanted to experiment trying this, and now is the best time, I guess, more than ever. And guess what? I'm gonna bring you guys along for the journey. So before we get started on this project, I had to take out my tiger shovelnose catfish, my yo-yo loaches, my largemouth bass, my peacock bass, and also my centodontis catfish. And in this bucket, I've also placed my different varieties of Oscars in here as well. All of these fish will be going inside of my pond, but they will be placed in holding cages until my project is done. This is a very large aquarium, and I'm sure that I have my work cut out for me. I have to drain the water and then remove the 150 pounds of sand and then prep this tank for the silicone. So let's get started. So right here, you can see me using the razor blade to get off the leftover silicone. You have to get all the silicone off of all of the glass in between all the cracks and crevices before you can apply the new silicone. So you have to make sure that you remove all the silicone. This process wasn't so bad, I guess, but what made it so bad is that the silicone was so old that it was breaking up every step of the way, which made it very tedious. Once I was able to remove all the silicone, I used a shop vac to suck up the particles to get up any remaining debris. And then I used some rubbing alcohol just to make sure that the surfaces were all clean for the new silicone to be applied. On this 125-gallon aquarium, I had to use 2 silicone tubes. I had to smooth out the silicone fast because it was drying quickly. Okay, so I just got done siliconing this tank. I made sure that the silicone was nice and thick along the edges. The only downside to siliconing a tank outside in South Florida is you can't predict all the time what Mother Nature is going to do. This tank probably had about 26 to 27 hours to cure before it came in contact with water, which is not very ideal. Usually from the research that I've done, you want to let the tank sit for at least 3 to 4 days. But in this situation, it is what it is. It came into contact with water. There's nothing I can do except hope for the best. So that's what I did. So in this instance, I'm giving it a water test just to see if it's capable of holding water without any leaks. So far, so good. This aquarium doesn't seem to have any issues holding water. I'm gonna let this hold water for a few more days, but in the meantime, we're going on a field trip. I decided to come to this wildlife sanctuary, not just for me, but for you guys too, just so you guys can get away. Because I know every time you come to my channel, I'm always doing something new. And as always, fish this, fish that, and more fish. Well, guess what? Now you guys have an opportunity of seeing baby American alligators in this really cool enclosure. And by looking at this setup, it's giving me some ideas of what I might want to do to my enclosures. And if you're into snakes, here are some just for you. This is a Florida king snake, and it appears to be asleep. This right here is some type of viper. I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't get the name on film, but I know what this is. This is a viper or a rattlesnake, and it is very venomous, and I'm so glad that there is glass in between us. But enough window shopping. We have a project to complete. We finally got this 125 gallon back up and running. It was a bit of a process, but I'm glad to have gone through that struggle because now I know how to reseal a tank. What I did was I added the sand substrate back in here. My DIY 5-gallon bucket filter, it absolutely crushes it when it comes to filtration. It is also such a game changer when it comes to doing water changes. It saves me a lot of time on doing maintenance. It has enough space in here that I can really, beef it up how I want to beef it up. Especially when it comes to a 125 gallon tank. It's a really large tank, and I have monster fish in here, so filtration is definitely a must. I decided to move 3 of my catfish in this enclosure because they are the runts of the gang, and I need them to grow out to be bigger, and I feel like the other fish are eating more than them and probably bullying them because they're a lot smaller. So I have them in here to kind of give them a head start to kind of catch up. So I moved my red-tailed catfish in here, my red-tailed hybrid catfish in here, and I also moved my tiger shovel-nosed catfish in here as well, along with some largemouth bass and some of my albino tiger oscars. And also I have a Synodontis catfish in here as well. As you probably noticed, the background is different. I didn't have a background on here before, but I ended up getting some blue poster board background. The background is double-sided, so I have the option of changing it to black or to blue, but I felt like the blue kind of made the colors of the fish pop out a little bit better than just an all black background. The water is clearing up a lot because of this filter. The pump is really doing its job. I have a heater in here, I have some lava rock in here, and also some fake plants in here. The reason why I put the lava rock back in here was to kind of give it an added flavor of, I really enjoy the red lava rock in here. It makes the red tails on these catfish really pop, and it also serves as a hiding spot for the beneficial bacteria. So here we go. I have one red-tailed catfish in here. I have one tiger shovel-nosed catfish in here. And then I have, check this out, y'all, I have a hybrid red-tailed catfish mixed with a shovel-nosed catfish right there. So now, this guy is what you get when you crossbreed these 2 fish right here, which is really cool. I wonder if anyone's hungry. Got some food out here today. Let's see if somebody's ready to chomp down. Probably gonna clean that up because I thought they were gonna eat it, but I don't want it to mess the water up, so I think I'll just take that out right now because I don't like it. Off camera, I fed them and vacuumed up some of the leftover pellets because I didn't want it to foul the water and start to cloud it. Yeah, just admiring this tank. It looks really, really cool, really neat, especially at night. I'm really proud of this project. It was a bit challenging at first, but I'm glad that I pushed through it and managed to get this tank back up and running. So now I can just sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor. So what I decided to do was I took out my my largemouth bass, and I took the Oscars out of here just to kind of give these guys more space to themselves. Catfish typically eat a lot slower than Oscars do. So I felt like the Oscars would have been too much competition for them, being that they're faster swimmers, so they would eat all the food from them. And the main reason why I end up putting these guys in here is to basically grow them out to get them larger. And as you see, they're very active in here and they're swimming around. I did a little bit of research, and this right here is called glass surfing. And this is what fish do when they're stressed out or they're nervous. These fish have been in here for a few days now, and they don't seem to want to really eat. And that's unlike them, because when they were in the pond, they would come out almost immediately as the food started to settle on the bottom of the substrate. With some fish, when you remove them from one environment and place them in the next, they are reluctant to eat until they become familiar with their new surroundings. So you can really see what they look like. They're really pretty. This one right here is pork pie. This one right here is Rambo. And this one right here is cream pie. Look at the colors of those guys. This hybrid, man, it's a beautiful catfish. Very pretty catfish. Turkey shovel nose is also a very beautiful catfish. These guys are all of you guys are look like they're pushing maybe 10 inches to 11 inches. So none of them are a foot yet. They swim a lot. They're very active, and they all get along, which I like. They just seem to, when I had these guys in the pond, they weren't very active at all, just mostly just sitting still. But now that they're in an actual tank, they seem very comfortable and very curious and just want to be swimming. Right here is my other catfish. Looks like he's sleeping over there. It's my featherfin catfish right there. Man, well, I thought I was gonna get a feeding video for you guys, but I guess these guys have other things in mind. I guess I won't be feeding them for you guys, so that's my update. Hey guys, just in case you missed my last video on how I built this DIY 5-gallon bucket to filtrate my 125-gallon aquarium, I will leave it at the end of this video. Make sure you check it out. If you're new to the channel, thanks for watching Pond Saga 5.